always got to have a sip right at the start. Wet the whistle.
Oh. So.
I seen you running the snowblower yesterday.
Nope.
That wasn't you?
No.
Derek showing another girl how to run the snowblower.
It was Luke.
Oh, was it?
He was probably wearing my ski pants.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just assumed it was you.
No, I was out shoveling in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I like shoveling, but like there's a lot of driveway over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know where I was. I was gone somewhere, and he was showing Luke how to do it, and Luke got mad right away and quit. So he did it all.
Did it all.
What are you messing with?
Yeah, I'm just checking. Yeah. My God, we got a lot of snow.
Mm-hmm. That's a bad way to start a podcast.
Did you watch the
Boring.
Olympics today?
I watched like the women's hockey game.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did.
And
I couldn't believe that they blew their lead with 2
With
minutes,
2 minutes left.
in the game. Like, how heartbreaking. Because it's hard to come back from that momentum,
yeah.
right?
As soon as that happened, that whole period, like 3/4 of the period, they were in Canada's end.
Yeah.
Like the the American team was way better, more skilled.
But the shots were exactly
they were pretty
31 to
even.
31 going into overtime, wasn't it?
Maybe not quite that much, but no, the U.S. team was definitely strong. They say that might have been one of the best U.S. women's hockey teams ever.
Oh yeah,
because they had like the young youth insurgents, and Canada just had a bunch of old biddies there.
Well, it's only going to get better and better. It's getting so much more popular every year.
Yeah.
Women's hockey is just growing exponentially.
Yeah, that's the thing. No,
Yeah.
it was a great game.
Heartbreaking loss for them.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, whatever, good game. Like, it could have gone either way, right?
That's true.
Like, not whatever. Like, losing the Olympics is never just whatever. But, like, it's not like they got hammered on. Like, it was, they played really well, I thought.
Mm. It's interesting. I've been following a little bit of, like, in not my TikTok, but my reels. I've been getting lots of reels of people commenting on the Olympics, just random people, right? And it's funny what captivates, like, the population. Like right now, I find, and maybe it's just because I like curling.
Yeah,
I'm getting lots of people commenting on curling and how awesome it is.
well, it's probably in your algorithm.
But it's people that never watch, like, they're new to curling.
Oh yeah,
But they're like, this curling is amazing.
Well, it's definitely interesting. Like, it gets you every end. It can flip flop back and forth pretty quick.
Yeah, like the tension builds throughout the game. Like curling, I think the biggest attractions of the Winter Olympics, one, I think hockey is the number one, especially the men's, because it's all the pros, right? The best of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
And then probably, I don't know what else would be up there, like figure skating maybe. I'm not into figure skating, but I think a lot of people are, and that's...
I actually saw a poll that it was more the board and ski sports that are the most popular.
Really?
Now.
That, like, most watched?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Like snowboarding, snowcross, the
Let's Google it. I'm
high,
interested.
what do they call it? Like the big high ski jump, like big air, do they call it?
Yeah, big air.
Big air. Like those ones. And those I found myself more inclined to click on and watch on that too.
Watch
It's just exciting.
Olympic sports. Here we go.
Looks very, very difficult and very, very dangerous. And they make it look so easy until somebody has a
Figure skating, number
tumble.
one. I was right.
My grandma used to watch figure skating all the time. I find it kind of boring to watch.
Yeah, but a lot of people are into it, I think. The most watched sport. Oh, here it is. Oh, no, this is... I want Winter Olympics. But anyways, I enjoy the Olympics because you get a little bit of everything. And I like those events that are short. Like, I just watched tonight, brand new event. It's called mountaineering. Have you seen that?
Like in the Olympics?
Yeah.
No.
Do you know what it is?
No. What is it?
So it's these people on, I think there was about 5 of them, and they have cross-country skis and a backpack on. So they all line up on the starting line, and there's a gun goes off, and they just book her, but they're going up a mountain or like up the hill. I guess it would be a mountain.
On cross-country
On cross-country. So they're just giving her. Like,
okay.
kind of running almost, like gliding up this mountain. And then they get to a certain spot, and then they go through this diamond course. Like, they have to go around these obstacles in a diamond shape, and they're crashing into the walls. But they're still running up the mountain to do this.
Really?
And then they get past...
On skis?
On cross-country skis.
Okay.
And then they get to the next part of the course, and they have to take their skis off, but they have ski boots on, and then they have to run up like a flight of 50 stairs.
In ski boots.
And they're just all wiping out on the stairs. Yeah.
When did this become a
I don't know.
event?
I just seen it tonight, and they said this is the first time it's been in the Olympics.
What?
And then they get to the top of the stairs. They put their skis back on, but they have these, I think they have these grippy things on the bottom of their skis. They call them, I don't know if they were socks or something like that, where they take them off, then they have to put them in their little pouch. They have like a little kangaroo pouch. And then, so they're at the top of the mountain, and then they have to ski down to the bottom of the mountain. So then it's kind of like a slalom ski course, but on cross-country skis. So it's really like, oh, yeah, it's wild.
What the heck?
Mountaineering.
What the heck? That is, I'm shocked.
Yeah, it's cool. But lots
Are
of,
there any other new sports this year?
I don't know. That's the only one that I seen.
I wonder what all the new sports in the last 10 years have been. What have they added?
Probably lots of the
Snowcross?
Yeah, like big air and slope style. And,
I wonder what'll be next.
I don't know.
I wonder what they're working on. What would you suggest
Pickleball.
for the Winter Olympics?
Yeah, possibly. Oh, no, it might be in the Summer Olympics, but it'll be.
That'll probably be. I guarantee
sure
that will be.
Yeah.
I wonder do they ever take sports out?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, what have they taken out?
I don't know.
Well, let's find out.
I think there's what sports in the Summer Olympics? There's lots. Did you see the break? I think we maybe talked about that break dancing in the Summer Olympics.
Oh yeah.
And the Canadian guy was unreal.
Was he?
Yeah, he was some Asian Canadian dude. And he had a one name. I forget what it was called.
But they decided that was a 1 year thing, right? After the big.
They call them demonstration sports. So it's usually the host country, like whatever's big in the host. So the last one was in Los Angeles, and break dancing is a part of the LA culture, supposedly, or the American inner city culture. So they wanted to have that as a sport.
Huh. Okay, Here are Winter Olympic sports that are gone.
Okay.
Military patrol, the precursor to biathlon, held in early games, last official in 1948.
Okay.
Ski joring, athletes pulled by horses, only in 1928.
Mm-hmm.
Sled dog racing was at the 1932 games. Bandy. Have you ever heard of bandy?
No, never heard of bandy.
Ice sport similar to field hockey, soccer. Demonstration in 1952, but never medal status. Bandy. Ice stock sport, similar to curling. Competed in 1936 and 1964. Oh, ski ballet.
I've seen that before.
Ski.
Yeah.
Artistic routines on skis dropped in the early 1990s.
Yeah, so
it's so awkward looking.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Them do that where they have their poles and they're on cross country skis basically, and they do flips over them.
Yeah. It's so weird.
Just standing still on the ground, not going down a hill or anything. It's the dumbest.
I know, it was weird.
I seen a reel the other day, and it was like ski jumping in the 1980s was way cooler. And it was just a bunch of randos that didn't know how to do it. And they would hit the jump and they'd be like in the air. They'd be like, the ski would fall off. They'd be going sideways.
At
and
the
they just
Olympics.
crash into the mountains.
At the Olympics.
It's one of those things where I don't know if I believed it or not. It was probably AI, but it was hilarious.
The last one is speed skiing. Racers hit extreme downhill speeds, removed after 1992 due to safety and limited appeal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be dangerous.
Yeah, it's wild. But the sports that because there's certain sports where you watch it and it's a heat, right? And it might only last 3 minutes and that's over. Whereas a hockey game or a curling game, you're invested in that game for 2.5 hours.
Well, and a lot of them, do they have preliminaries like they do with hockey? Like you have to play so many games to get to the final?
Yeah.
Like not that many, though.
They'll all have preliminary runs. Yeah, I think a lot of them do. And then you have to qualify to
seeded?
get into the no, so say they might start out with, there might be 30 athletes, so they'll have 3 heats of preliminary runs, and then they'll take the top 10 times.
Oh, yeah.
And then they'll all compete in the final or something like that. Yeah.
Who was the Canadian skier that broke her leg so badly they thought they might have to amputate it?
No, that was Lindsey Vonn, the American.
Oh, American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lindsey Vonn. She used to date Tiger Woods.
Oh.
Yeah.
Same circles.
Kind of a big deal. And then the Canadian snowboarder from Regina, that Mark McMorris, he was in the big air competition just practicing, or maybe in one of those preliminary runs, and hit his head, and then had like bruised ribs and.
So was he totally out, or is he gonna?
He did but they said slope style is his sport. Like that was the one he was expected to medal in, and he didn't. I think he got 5th or something like that. But he was hurt. But yeah. So this is a question I had for you, because I've been hearing this lots on sports talk radio and stuff like that. Does Canada need to contribute more money to the Olympic program?
No. I don't think. I think sports are a good thing, but when you're putting a whole bunch of money into something that's an athletic competition for very select few individuals, meanwhile you have so many people in the country who need help and need a hand up or need services, or there's so many things that our money could go towards that I think, like, even right now, our freaking military.
Right.
We're going to need. What would you rather have, like an Olympic gold medal winner or a military that can defend your country?
I don't know. It's an interesting question, because all the ones that are doing well in these Olympics are the ones that spend money on it. Like Norway is half the size of Canada, and they're just kicking the shit out of everybody. They've got like 40 medals, and we have 12.
But doesn't it seem like Norway always has it figured out?
Yeah, but they put like $200 to $300 million a year into their Olympic program. So, but they're also an oil-rich country, so they take this is what I heard, is they take proceeds from that, and but it's important to them, and we don't think it's important until every 2 years when we're at the Olympics, and then we're like, fuck, why are we getting pumped in all these sports that we should be good at?
But who cares? Like, it's an athletic competition.
I care. I'm so invested in these Olympics right now.
And you're not alone. I know a lot of people are, and I get that. And I think it is good for country morale, and it's a good, fun, happy thing until it becomes that's where the country's money is going to, when there's all these other crises going on that need attention, and that's where we're putting our money and resources and attention. I think it's maybe sometimes not the best priority.
Yeah, and I guess that maybe like one of the political candidates maybe campaign on that type of thing, right? Like, okay, so somebody says, let's give a bunch of money to all these third world countries, and then the next party says, let's give that money to our Olympians.
Yeah, or
and our veterans, or whatever, or healthcare.
Yeah, not
or
even
education,
third world countries. Just like spend it somewhere in your country that benefits more than just the Olympic athletes. Like, I don't know. It is another one of those things where it's a $1 million, $1 billion industry.
Right.
So it's just another hat to put money into.
Yeah.
It depends what your priorities are.
I guess.
You're a sports guy. You're a competition guy. You like that shit.
I like sports. Yeah. Sports is a big part of my life, so I think about it and watch it a lot. And,
and it's good to have something to aspire to, but I think that's not the only thing that
I know, and that's
aspire to.
That's a good there's always in anything too, when you're especially when you have so many funds like that you have to allocate to all these different things, what becomes priority? So, and you have different priorities than me, and I have different priorities than my mom and dad, and my nieces are going to have different priorities than all of us. So you kind of got to, and I guess that's where when you say, I'm not worried about politics, or, maybe focusing on politics to get your priorities taken care of is what the name of the game is.
Yeah.
So that's why you should go out and vote.
But usually voting happens with the almighty dollar anyways, so.
Yeah, there's a lot of money gets pumped into it and campaigned, and then we get a president or a prime minister that we don't like, and we bitch about them for the next 4 years, and then we get another one, and then we don't like him, and then we bitch about him for 4 years. It's just,
it goes on and on.
It's
and
a
on.
circle of, it's
but
gross.
like, you put all this money into Olympics, right? Everyone's like rah rah rah. Everybody's excited. It's 2 weeks.
All right.
And then people forget about it.
Yeah.
Except the athletes.
Except the athletes.
That have to be funded federally and provincially.
Well, and they said, like, the last time we had the Olympics in Canada was 2010. It was in Vancouver. And the build up to that, because we knew as a country we were going to get a whole bunch of revenue because we were hosting the Olympics, we pumped a bunch of money into that program because we wanted our athletes to do well on our home soil. And then for the next year or two after that, there was some residual. But then the next cycle, which we're kind of in now, well, actually, yeah, we're probably at the tail end of the next cycle because that was 16 years ago. My God. But now you're starting to see that, especially in this country, like in 2010, I don't know how many medals we won in 2010, but say it was 40, and we might win 20 this one. So, and then I don't know. It's one of those things where you have a team you're rooting for, and you want them to do good, and you want them to win. And it's when there's patriotism. I think like the thing I like about the Olympics is there's so many things that we should be patriotic about, but I think the Olympics is one thing we can all agree that we should be patriotic about the Olympics and cheer for our Canadian athletes.
Well, of course.
Right?
Yeah. Whether you want to get up at 6 a.m. and go to the bar.
That's what I'm going to
do. I wondered if you were going to bring this up.
Okay, so Jay applied for a license. So the Tisdale Hotel in town here applied for a license from the government to open the bar at 6 a.m. So the game, if Canada makes the gold medal game, will be at 7 o'clock on Sunday. And his liquor license says he can't open till like 10 or something like that. But the government said, yeah, go ahead.
They gave him the go ahead.
Yeah. So we're going to have breakfast. He's going to serve like a small breakfast menu and have drink specials.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully everybody shows up and cheers for Canada in the gold medal game.
Well, I think it's a great idea. The part I question is, why do you have to focus on drinks? You could just have a community breakfast.
Oh, you could. And yeah, you don't. It is a bar, though, and people are going to want to crush beers while they're watching hockey.
7 in the morning?
Oh, why not?
Well, does it taste good at 7 in the morning? Do you want a beer?
Have you ever been day drinking?
I don't. Well, I have
It's
in the past,
best.
like on vacation or in the summer or whatever. But I mean, like, to me, and maybe I'm the minority, but it's friggin' 35 below and it's Sunday morning and it's dark out. It's going to be hard. It's hard enough to get up to go make a pot of coffee, let alone get up and go and want to slam a beer.
If it was you and me and 3 other people and we decided to do that one day, it would be weird. But if you're with 60 people from your community and you all have this thing that you're cheering for, you're cheering for Canada, gold medal.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all. I think it's a great thing. I hope he gets lots of people there. I hope it's amazing.
It's a community-orientated.
Don't think I'll be there. Not because I have anything against people having fun. I could watch it from.
Yeah, I hate that attitude.
I bet. I know you do, but
and lots of people have said that to me, and I just why? It's once every 4 years and we haven't had this opportunity in like 16 years. It's maybe a once in a lifetime thing that might happen. Just like Toronto in the World Series this past year. It hadn't happened since 1993. Like, why wasn't the bar packed every game with a bunch of people in Toronto Blue Jays gear all watching? Because he's got 13 TVs there, surround sound, a great sound system. He turns the lights down, builds the tension, and like everybody's just watching those TVs. And then when something happens, like in the World Series, when there was a home run hit, like when Bichette hit that home run in Game 7, we all got up and we were high-fiving each other and screaming, and I was hugging Renee Simoneau, and it was just like there was so much joy.
Yeah.
When you're watching it, it's kind of that not cult mentality, but
mob mentality.
Mob mentality in a good way. Same thing when you go with, like when you watch a comedy special on TV, like on Netflix, and you're sitting on your couch and you don't even laugh at it, but you can hear the people on TV laughing. But I guarantee you, if you were at that theater that it was being filmed, watching that same thing, you would be laughing with everybody else. Right? It's infectious.
Well, and I think that is part of the problem. It's become so comfortable.
Yeah,
it's become so comfortable to just, I'm one of those people. I like just sitting by myself and experiencing something at my own leisurely pace and not having to like pay $6 for every drink I get. And if I want to have a snack, I gotta pay for that too. And then I'm in an uncomfortable chair, and it's just a personal preference where it's like one of those ruts you get into, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's better. I know you have a great time when you go to the bar, but it's just the fact of like getting yourself there. Sometimes this is the world that we live in now.
Yeah. I hate it. I hate it.
But you don't have to sit at home. You can go to the bar. I sit
at home all the time.
You can go to the bar and
I'm a social creature. I need to be around people.
But you'd go and do that.
Yeah.
But you're mad at people that choose
I am
not
mad at
to
people
do that.
Because I don't understand why you're being such a recluse and an introvert.
Because some people just are. Some people like that. Some people are more
I don't
happy
like it
that way.
I don't think you are. I think people aren't happy. That's the problem with our society, is people aren't happy. And there's a little thing that's happening Sunday at 7 where we could be excited about, and it might bring some joy to our lives if we go out and hang out with 80 people.
But also some people don't care that much about it.
I get, okay, if you don't care, then you don't care. But there's a lot of people that I know and I've talked to about this, and I know they care.
Well, then why wouldn't they go?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because people do what they want to do.
And I get it.
So there's obviously...
I don't have to accept it.
No, you don't have to accept it. But
and they could say, fuck you, Steve, for making me feel bad about it. That's their opinion, too. And agree to disagree on this. I think we should all get together. We should be at Town Square renting a 58-foot screen and all watching it together, the whole town, 3,000 people. Let's go.
Well, how come they didn't do that for the women's game then?
Because the women's game is not as good.
Fuck you.
It's not as good.
Steve, you want everybody to get all fucking hyped up over, the big men's game. Oh, every 3,000 people should be in Town Square. But the women's game is on, and you're like, oh, did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it. But it was on at 11 o'clock on a Thursday morning. Yeah. Everybody's at work.
Not me. I watched it.
I watched it too. I skipped work to watch it. But the ladies' game isn't as good as the men's game. You have to agree with me on that. And that's not a sexist thing. That's just the quality of the sport.
Yeah, but you're talking about...
It's the best
you think
in the world.
Everybody should care about it.
And most people do care. You think of Tisdale's a hockey town. Hockey. They want all their kids to make the NHL.
Some people don't play hockey.
80% of the people that have their kids in minor hockey want their kids to be in the NHL.
Yeah, but what percent of people in Tisdale have their kids in minor hockey?
That's true.
You know, like hockey isn't everything to everybody all the time.
It's a lot of things to a lot of people, though.
Well, I guess we'll see how many people are in the bar at 6 a.m.
We'll
see how important it is.
It's great. I don't know. I don't know why you'd want to watch it in the dark at home by yourself when you can watch it with 60 people at the bar.
Because it's comfy, and I'd probably rather have coffee in bed while I'm watching it than get up and slam 5 beers. And
you're such a bump on the log. You old biddy.
Well,
that's my word of the day, old biddy. I've said it a few times now.
I guess that's what I am. I have to embrace the new phase of my life. Chapter
of your life.
Yep. I'm not getting up and slamming beers at 6 a.m. I'm okay with that.
You don't have to slam a beer. You can have a coffee and a brunch. You can come out with all your other old biddies that just sit there. No, this sucks.
Why would I do that? If I didn't want to be there, I'd just be home comfy in bed. I don't need to go there to tell you it sucks.
That's true.
You'll find out for yourself.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. It's going to suck if they lose, but well, you should have seen.
That's what I'm talking about. You were so just down after you were spending all your time there watching the Jays games, and then they lost, and then you said it was fucking brutal, and
it was
everybody
depressing. There was a little bit of depression, but it was because we invested all that time, and there was so much joy that it didn't there was such a feeling of sadness because we invested. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Well, I think you're trying to talk yourself into it because
I'm going. It's awesome, but I'm just trying to explain where I'm coming from.
The baseball, when they finally lost, you were there every game. You were having a great time.
Yeah.
And then they lost, and then everyone just buckled and folded and didn't say a word and left the bar. So it's not about big community camaraderie. It's only if we're winning.
Yeah.
Well,
that's sports, man. It was just like when in 2019 when the Raptors went on that big run and won the championship, the NBA championship. I'm not a huge basketball guy, but I got so invested in that.
But if it was about patriotism, wouldn't you stay and just celebrate the fact that, they did so great to get to here?
No, because losing sucks.
Oh,
you don't like losing.
God.
Losing sucks. When you played ball and you lost a big game, you were not like, let's all hang out together.
I actually was. I didn't cry about losses. I didn't.
Losing's not fun.
Well, it's not the end of the world either.
No, it's not, but it's just, you don't.
There's going to be a loser of every game.
Absolutely.
And just because you lost the game doesn't mean that you played so shitty or you have no reason to celebrate. You obviously played so well, you got to the A final or the gold medal game or whatever the fuck. So fucking celebrate. Even if you lost. Big deal. You made it there.
Yeah. No.
Well, that's being a sore loser.
It's not being a sore loser. You don't sit and mope about it, but you can feel shitty and not like it.
You can feel shitty and still.
We shouldn't be like, we lost the gold medal. Woo!
No, but you could be like, hey, order another round. Let's fucking have a good night.
Well, I did that when I was there.
I don't know. Whatever. I think it'll be fun. I think you'll have lots of people there that want to be there.
Yeah, hope so.
I don't know why you get mad at people.
I hope a lot of people that come that maybe don't want to be there, but they identify it that it's an event, it's an outing that we don't have many of in Tisdale. Any social outings? I've got an idea.
Okay.
Speaking of social outings,
mm-hmm.
And you know how much I hate raffle tickets. I think it's the worst fundraiser in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I condone. I despise anybody that sells them as a fundraiser, and I don't despise you as a human, but I hate the idea of going out and asking people for money and them getting nothing in return, other than a 1 in 2,000 chance at hope of winning something.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yep.
I'd rather you sell me a $10 box of chocolate covered almonds for $20. At least I get something. Even though I grossly overpaid for that, at least I get something. But anyways.
Do you want to order some Mom's Pantry from TMSS?
I've always ordered Mom's Pantry. I love it. I think it's such a great fundraiser. You know what? The schools have always done fundraising the best. Whether it was back in the day, it was the the magazine club thing,
mm-hmm.
right? You order magazines,
mm-hmm.
or Mom's Pantry now. I've seen clubs do the gift cards. I've seen clubs sell beef jerky, right? All these little things where I'm buying something. I probably could buy it cheaper if I went to the store, but I identify that it's a fundraiser, so I'm willing to pay a little bit more, but at least I get something out of it. I think the school's great at that. The best out of all the clubs in a little community. But I was sitting with a guy at work and we were talking about this, going back and forth. And he's like, well, do you have any ideas about what we could do to fundraise? And I said, and this is not we've maybe talked about this a little bit, but in Manitoba, they do wedding socials. And it is completely accepted that that's a practice that people do. They'll put on a dance where anybody can come. You don't have to know the groom, the bride and the groom. It's just anybody that's a part of the community or the surrounding communities can come. You pay your $10 to get in. You have some drinks if you want, but there's a dance. There's usually a DJ or a band or something, and you just have a good time. It's a social, and all the proceeds go to the couple. Yep. Right? For their wedding. Or just
usually it's for the wedding.
To get their life started. Whatever, right? Because you're going to make money at the wedding too if you do it right. But I thought it would be great to have socials so say you have in the winter time, or maybe all year, maybe you have 4 or 6 or whatever number of socials. You pre-plan it. So maybe you have one in February, one in April, one in September, one in December, right? And you say, okay, the one in February, and you apply for them. So say the Kinsman wants to do one. Okay, yeah, you do one. Say the Tisdale Minor Hockey wants to do one. Yeah, you can do one. So you pre-book the venue, you pre-book the entertainment. So say it's a DJ, right? At a rate, an affordable rate. Like I'll tell you right now. So for a wedding, I charge $800 for a dance, to do a dance from 8 o'clock to 2 in the morning. Whether that's high or low, I don't know. That's just what I've always charged. Another couple $100 if you want it for if you want cocktails.
After party.
Oh, cocktails and
pre-party.
Cocktails and supper music. So it's about $1,000. Well, I was saying if you could do this for like $75 an hour, that's the preset rate. So then say Tisdale Minor Hockey's got the November 12th date, they're in charge of getting the liquor license and getting the bartenders and the bouncers. That's all they have to do. They have to sell that. We got the venue and the entertainment already booked at a rate of $75 an hour, and say we're going to start at 9 o'clock and we're going to go till 2 in the morning. If 200 people come and they're making money, great. If 20 people show up and they want to close her down at 10:30, great. You just pay per hour, right? And then all the money goes to
who is providing the DJ and the venue for $75 an hour.
Well, I had this idea. So say I did that, right? So say I rented the venue, I provided DJ service, and then you'd
go in the hole.
Who would?
You would. $75 an hour. You can't get a venue for $75.
No. But then they would have to pay for the venue. Yeah. No, I'm not paying for the venue. I'm just providing, right, because you're going to have to rent a place to do this.
Well, you're talking about you get the venue and the DJ for $75.
No. You get the DJ for $75 an hour.
Oh.
You have to rent the venue.
Okay.
So I don't know what the Golden Age Center is, a couple $100 a night. And then you do the thing. So we know at the start of the year when all these socials are going to be. You know who's going to be fundraising at each of these socials, and you can, you know what, I'm not going to be able to make this one. I don't give a shit about that club, but I really want to go to this one because I have a vested interest in this club, and I think what they do is great, right? So you can kind of pick and choose, but throughout the year that there's going to be 6 dances, and here's the dates.
But
plan accordingly.
If that was a marketable idea, clubs would do that for themselves. But the problem is that it's too hard to rely on ticket sales because you're at the whim of whatever people feel like. And like we talked about before, nobody wants to commit to anything. It depends what the weather's like. It depends what their mood is like. It depends what their kids are doing that weekend.
It might flop, right? And then you say, next year we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? There might be a group that has 3 great people that know a bunch of people, and and are good at selling tickets to dances, and maybe they take it on and want to do it. That would be the hardest part, is selling the tickets, because everything else would be easy. And
it is a good idea.
But if you're already selling things, right? Like if you're out, I would say selling a ticket to a dance would be, I don't know, or selling a booklet of $20 raffle tickets. What would you rather do? Probably sell the raffle tickets, because then you could just buy them and write your name on them, right? Right? But you know what I mean. Some people are, if you're already out there hustling, selling these freaking raffle tickets.
I don't know. This is a conversation we've had millions of times. It's just like fundraising is evolving because people have gotten lazy. Like, did you see
so lazy.
Did you see Vanderbeek? The fucking guy.
James Vanderbeek.
James Vanderbeek.
Yeah, Dawson's Creek. Yeah.
So he passed away, and then there's a GoFundMe for his wife and his 6 kids, trying to raise like $2.5 million or something to keep their standard of living up. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
No, thank you. I'm not.
Like, at first when I saw the sob story, I'm like, oh, that's so sad. Like, because I know he was like doing everything to make money at the end, right? So he was auctioning off all his memorabilia, and he was going on all these weird shows he probably wouldn't normally have, just to pay for his healthcare and whatever. And yeah, like they have this huge like multi-million-dollar ranch, and their kids go to private school and all this shit. It's like, okay, I'm not supporting your lifestyle. Yeah, like that's tragic what happened, but that happens to millions of people, and their standard of living has to change. It's just the way life goes. I don't know. I think GoFundMe gets out of hand. It's like, it does. It's like, what did people do before for funerals, before GoFundMes? Because you see it all the time now, that as soon as somebody dies, somebody instantly puts a GoFundMe together to help that family cover expenses and funeral expenses and living expenses and all this stuff, right? What the fuck do people do before a GoFundMe? Because I feel like that happens a lot. A lot of dances and right, like those social type things. Yeah, people would have those. Say your farmhouse burnt down and you didn't have insurance, or right, or you're a benefit, or you're a young family with 3 young kids, and the dad who was making the money died at age 34, right? And you got a 29-year-old wife. That's true. They used to have benefit stuff all the time, and now it's easier to just make a website and plug your money in there and leave a heart and move on to the next thing. It's sad. Man. It's sad, but it's like you said, you can feel mad about it and you can feel sad about it, but what can you do about it? Like, you only have control over your own self. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I have a mandate in life to try to influence our community to be more communicative and social. Yeah. Because I think it benefits. It doesn't just benefit. It benefits me selfishly, because I enjoy that type of thing. But I think it benefits our whole community when we have these type of things. Like, after Rock in the Square has been shitty the last few years. Nobody's been going, unfortunately. But when at the start, when there was 1,500 people there, I think a lot of people got a lot of value out of that. Do you think it's also because it was something new? Like, do you think if they switched it up a little and tried something different, they would have people come out and check it out? Yeah. Because now they kind of know what to expect. And when it slowly declines every year, if you know to expect it's not going to be a great time, then it's time to switch it up. Yeah, I think you have to do. I think our attention span, just because of social media and reels and stuff like that, is we always like change, and we like a faster paced society. We just don't like the status quo all the time. And also, we can't plan ahead. Like,
Right.
I feel like it's always just what's right in front of you at the time. So everyone's got so much going right in front of their eyes all the time that somebody asks you, oh, do you want to commit to this dodgeball tournament in 4 weeks? Well, I don't fucking know. Like, there's so much that's going to happen before that happens. I can't say yes or no. And by the time that rolls around, are we even doing it anymore? Has anyone forgot about it? You know what I mean? Like, there's so much stuff that comes up all the time.
I also think there's a fear of commitment, though, too, because some people are scared that something better might come along. But they've already committed to this other thing, and now they can't do this thing.
I think a lot of fear of commitment is fear of actually going out and committing to having to show up and be somewhere.
Right.
Like sometimes my fear of commitment isn't because something better might come along. Sometimes it's I'm not going to feel like going that day. So I don't want to say I'll fucking be there if like I wake up that morning and I'm just like, that's the last fucking place I want to be right now. Which is, I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it's terrible, but I feel like I'm not the only one. Like that is the
you're
state
in the majority.
of affairs.
I think you're in the majority.
And that's what we're dealing with right now. So we have to, I don't know that that's something that we can easily change just by like offering more shiny things. I think that's something, it's going to have to evolve what our idea of being social and being connected means, unfortunately. I don't know what that looks like, but I'm just saying it's really hard to pull that back to the good old days.
Well, it's not necessarily the good old days because there's things that happen, like an event where you go to or you don't go to, but you hear it was awesome, right? This thing happened and it was amazing. Like I hear that about the Klinger Dinger out at Marine.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like, damn, like that's 2 years in a row I've missed it. But now I want to go because I've been hearing how awesome it is.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you have to have, maybe you don't have more things, but you have fewer but more awesome better things.
Yeah.
That people that don't go feel like, oh, I think I missed out on something there.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they do that again next year. But you know what? Maybe they just do it once or twice and they say, got to do something different.
Well, what do you think of the rodeo? Do you think the rodeo needs a switch up?
Well, I've heard they're having a big switch up this year. Massive switch up.
Do tell.
I don't know if I should or not.
Do tell.
Okay. They might. I think this is knowledge.
Are they only doing one night so everyone can't say, oh, it's better Friday night. I'm only going Friday.
I'll get to that.
Okay.
I'll get to that. I've heard, this is the rumor, everybody, Tisdale, and I hope I don't get punched in the mouth for saying this, but I heard on Thursday, they've always done the ranch rodeo.
Mm-hmm.
Boring. Have you ever been to the ranch rodeo?
Yeah, it's boring except for the people whose kids are riding the sheep.
It's boring.
Okay.
I heard they're scrapping that.
Oh.
And instead,
but isn't it a good opportunity?
They're scrapping that. They're going to have bull riding.
Only.
A night of bull riding. I don't know if it's a PBR event or if it's associated with the rodeo, but just more bull riders. I've heard both. And I'd like somebody to confirm that. And maybe this isn't public knowledge yet. Maybe
So instead of the ranch rodeo.
Instead of the ranch rodeo, there's going to be bull riding.
Thursday night bull riding only.
Bull riding only.
Well, that's usually what they leave for last at the rodeo, so people stick around and watch. So what's their plan for the rest of the rodeo? It's exciting.
So they're still going to, the rodeos will be the same they've always been.
With bull riding.
Bull ride. So I don't know if maybe the Thursday is a PBR event. I don't know that for sure. I think they would have, I could be wrong on all this. This is just a rumor that I've heard. I've also heard Friday night, instead of having the cabaret in the arena, they're just going to keep everything in the auditorium. So they're going to, because typically what's happened is the rodeo gets out at like 10 o'clock. They want everybody to go over to the beer gardens in the auditorium because that's where they have the horse pull Calcutta. So they want as many people around for that.
And it's usually packed in there.
And it's packed in there on Friday night. But then they've been having a tough time after the fact. When it was up in the Hanover room and you can only jam in like 200, 250 people, everybody wanted to get the fuck out of there and down to the arena because then you could breathe again.
Yeah.
But now that it's in the auditorium, you can hammer like 600 people in there.
Yeah.
So they're going to get that Chris Klein guy that was performing at the bar the other weekend that nobody went to see. He was amazing. They're going to have him perform in the auditorium on the stage
Friday night
after the Calcutta. So everybody will stay there.
That's going to be good.
Yes.
That's going to be good.
So the instead of they're still going to have the cabaret instead of on the arena ice or like where the rodeo is after.
Yeah.
They're going to have it. And they said it was a lot of setup too to set all that up for the night.
Yeah.
And just getting everybody back. But then Saturday they're going to have the big cabaret. So one night on the arena.
On the dirt.
Yeah, on the dirt. So that is if all that is true, that is a huge change to the rodeo.
I think that's a good idea.
Which I think will be for the better.
What do you think they're going to do with the trade show? Anything different?
Probably not. Yeah, it's really gone downhill in the last
I feel like it's one of those things that is a little bit not as good every year. So then every year less people go, and then it makes it not as good. It's a snowball effect.
Yeah. And no knock on the people that put on the trade show.
It's only not as good because there's not as many people coming.
Right. The vendors aren't there that used to be there. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's hard to get vendors for that kind of thing anymore because everything's friggin' online.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, like should you have a bunch of people selling things there, like knick-knacky type stuff, which some of it's kind of gone to, or should you have, like for work, there was a time where there would be like the 3 or 4 ag companies or elevators around would all have a booth. It'd just be sitting, and it was.
But like for
what?
what?
Like why?
Yeah.
Why do we need that?
Takes up all that space too.
But I guess the more vendors you have and the more booths you have set up, the more buzz there is going on the trade show, right? It's probably better for the people walking through the trade show.
I don't know. It's like such a waste. It's like you walk by all those places with a big long table with a couple of guys like you sitting at it, and it's like I could talk to you any of you at any of those booths because you're local anytime, right? And it's not like you're really how many potential customers that aren't already customers are you actually reaching out to?
It was definitely a way to just have some small chit chat with the community, though. Right, because maybe you go, like I go to the rodeo every year, but I don't talk to, like I definitely interacted with more people having a booth, and we never talked about business or about agriculture. It was just like, hey man, how you doing? You going to the rodeo tonight? Yeah, sweet. Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. How are your kids doing? Like it was that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Which it gave you an excuse to do that because they would walk by you and they would look at you. And it would be pretty rude if they just put their head down and kept walking. They'd have to, especially if you know the person, right? You got to be like, oh, hey, how you doing? You got to make small talk.
I like the little booths, like the things like the homemade pies. And
I do
stuff
too.
Like that.
Homemade pies.
Good
and fudge.
lemon meringue pie with the meringue that thick on it.
Yeah, the curling club usually has that booth set up in the corner.
Yeah.
Where they have coffee and pie. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Homemade baking.
Or back in the day, the one golf store from PA would come and they'd bring a bunch of like golf clubs.
Like that's what I mean. You don't get very many outside vendors anymore. Like it's usually just like very local people.
Scentsy and people selling rocks and right? People selling that knives and which is I think you need that stuff too, and they probably do well.
Yeah.
I like the Scentsy people probably make a killing at the trade show.
Oh, I used to buy a shit ton of Scentsy at those.
Yeah. Scensy's awesome.
It always smells good in your house.
I don't have Scentsy. I just rock a candle. I should get into Scentsy. I like when a house smells good. When you walk into somebody's house and it smells like they give a shit.
I know. It's so inviting.
Yeah.
Like what kind of, sometimes you can tell it's overpowering though. Like sometimes it's one of those like really sweet smelling candles or something that always is like, or like grandma's potpourri, you know. Like,
or the plug-in Glade things. Yeah. Those are the worst because they're so strong.
So strong.
Even if you have them on the lowest setting.
Mm-hmm. I know I like a good Scentsy, so then you can get like cotton sheets or, you know, I like the spruce pine kind of ones. My
mom always has those kind of candles.
Yeah.
There was a good candle at LaCroix. They have good They're pricey. They're expensive, but
Like
over Christmas time.
Are they the Woodwick ones?
They had the Woodwick ones, but they also had some other ones. They had a bunch of like fir and pine and different, and I bought my mom a couple of them, and she loved them. Mm-hmm. But they smell like a good smelling candle. I think is worth the money. Mm-hmm. Like you could go to the dollar store and buy a $14 candle.
Sometimes it's just as good.
I've bought ones where you can't even smell them. Like it's just a candle. But then you go and you buy that $60 candle, and it's like, wow, okay,
so that's the same old question I always ask you with the price stuff. Like I always find myself buying something mid-range because I don't trust the super expensive. I think it's all overpriced and marked up, and they're giving it to you in the bum every time.
Right.
But then the super cheap stuff too, yeah, it either like makes you break out or smells like makes your eyes water or doesn't smell good or smells like nothing or burns real quick, So I'm always like a mid-grade type of consumer.
Yeah, that's kind of where
But some people swear on like high-end shit.
Yeah.
And I could see why some things are worth the money, but some things aren't.
No, you're right.
And how do you even know?
Well, and
even when you read reviews,
a
lot of reviews are made up.
Yeah.
So I don't even
probably
trust
by the company that's selling them.
That's exactly. So I don't even trust that anymore. I have to just figure it out for myself.
Or AI, write a favorable review about my product, and it just boom spits it out.
Exactly.
Do you know Trent Marquardt, Trent and Kim? Mm-hmm. So Trent told me this one time because he'd always get comments on his clothes. Mm-hmm. Trent always has like a nice old blazer from the 70s or 80s, but it's in really good shape and it looks nice, like vintage. But he told me it was his dad's, and he said his dad always spent a lot of money on clothes, but that was something that was important to him. Was looking good, especially when you're running a jewelry store. You kind of got to look good. Mm-hmm. But he said, the money I invest in my clothes will pay off a dividend. Like it's worth it to invest in a nice quality suit jacket, right? Because they last longer, they're made better, they're tailored. Mm-hmm. And now Trent's wearing them, his son, like 60 years later, and it still looks amazing. Mm-hmm.
Do you think they make stuff like that still?
I don't know if they... Probably. Like if you went to a tailor and I'm not talking Moores in the city, like Moores which is a chain, you maybe get some nice stuff. But if you went to like a real boutique shop and
I think it's got to be like handmade for you,
like
to be
tailored boutique, like you go to Vegas or Italy or something like that, and you get a handcrafted Italian suit. I bet you that quality is.
Well, we took Jet for his grad suit fitting or picking it out the other day. Such a funny experience because he's like, he doesn't care.
Right.
Like he gives zero shits. He went in there. He had in his mind what he wanted. He got a black suit, the black shirt, and a white tie.
Perfect.
And black shoes.
Classic.
And a black belt.
I love it. I love it.
Like Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
I was trying to get him to like maybe a little bit of color, maybe a little bit of pattern, zazz it up a little bit. Nope. That's what he wanted.
There's something about that he like there was a time where everybody's suit was black. Like when I graduated, 2003, we all had the exact same black suit with a different colored vest.
That's what she was saying. It used to be you came in, everyone pretty much, there was like 2 different kinds of tuxes you would order.
Yeah.
You picked out your vest, which there was probably 5 or 6 choices, and you rented it. You didn't buy it.
Yeah.
And now it's a whole different ballgame, $750 later. But he keeps the suit.
Keep the suit. Yeah.
But
I like that classic look.
He is not a full-grown boy yet.
Right.
So I'm spending this amount of money on this suit that he might not have a hope in hell of even fitting in next year, and his little brother ain't fitting in it.
Well, you tell that boy when he goes to the city and he's going out to the Outlaws on Saturday night, he's got to wear his suit.
Yeah, you get your wear out of it. Wear it to class every single day.
Yeah. But you know, it's funny because there was a time. So then that black suit or black tux thing went away, and then all of a sudden, everybody started getting all these crazy flowered shirts and colors and vibrant. Now you get all the colored suits, like you get blue and you get peach and you get purple and you get. But when you go to a wedding now, and I've noticed this, that everybody, it's kind of gone. Everybody's wearing these like flamboyant suits, and
they're like dresses used
where
to be.
Where the guys that look the best and stand out are the ones that just have the classic gray suit, blue shirt, black tie, like, right? Like it's the black and white. I think that looks so cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, you did look pretty sharp with that black on black and the white tie.
Yeah.
You couldn't even tuck them into a silver tie or a gray tie or a white tie with pattern. No.
It's got to be solid white.
Solid.
Nice. I love that.
But like with Mercedes, like it was 2 different days and like how many stores and how many dresses you're trying on and then there's the hair and then the shoes and then the accessories and everything and the alterations and everything. It's like, oh my God. But then Jet, you just walk in, picks it out, 20 minutes later, you're done. Boom. However,
thank you very much.
Still the same amount of money.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I was going to get off easy with a boy. I was shocked. It's like, holy fuck.
That stuff's not cheap.
But he needed everything.
Yeah. The shoes, the socks, the shirt.
Tie, shoes, belt.
Yeah, like you can't get a nice tie for
jacket.
What was a tie? $80?
I don't even know. Honestly, I didn't look at the price of anything.
Yeah. Like
this kid never asked for anything ever.
Yeah, it's a once in a lifetime.
Yeah. So I didn't care. I think my last child will be the most fun to dress for grad. I feel like.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, it's interesting. And he was like, we kept trying to talk him into trying like different things, and he's just like, no, I think I'm good.
He knows what he wants.
He does.
Humans are interesting creatures.
Mm-hmm. So different.
We
It's
all
amazing.
are.
It's amazing how you can raise 3 human beings and they're all so different.
Yeah.
Because even they haven't been raised the same. Like Mercedes was raised by a different mother than Jet was, than Luke was, because I was different all those stages of my life, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting.
Like you didn't have the same situation as your sister probably growing up. Like you had different experiences.
Oh, 100% different. Yeah. Well, same family dynamic, I guess, growing up.
Yeah, but different experiences.
Yeah.
Like even being the first child, from being the first child to being the last child, you have completely different.
Or a boy versus a girl.
Yeah.
Or April had some health issues growing up that I didn't have, and yeah.
Janelle called me the other day. I won't tell the story because it was. She had me cackling. It was one of those things that happens, and you can only tell like one person in the world. Like you have to tell someone that it's not going to tell anybody else, and that's your sister usually, right? So she calls me. She's in the middle of a work day, but she's like, "I just had to tell you this," and she tells me the story, and I'm just fucking dying laughing. And Mercedes is sitting there, and she can't hear what Janelle was saying on the phone, but she could see my reaction. We get off the phone. She's like, "What was that all about?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, I feel sorry for you. That's what you're missing out on, not having a sister." But like just the conversations you have with like that, like the one other sibling, you know, like Nathan's the odd one out, you know, 2 sisters and 1 brother. He never had a brother. I always felt sorry for him because it's like a different dynamic.
Yeah, that's a lot more relatable. Yeah. That's interesting. We were talking about that too, girl. And just what were we talking about at work today? It was just the 3 fellas, and it was an interesting conversation because it was one guy that's 60, that's raised his kids and now has grandkids. And then there was the other guy that has 3 little kids, and then me who has no kids. And we were talking about how we were raised and how we think we should raise children and how we see our friends raising children, and everything is so different. And who's to say what's right and wrong? But you kind of have observations, I guess, on what maybe works and what doesn't work.
But you have a different perspective.
Right. But it was good because we all had 3 perspectives, but we all kind of got to the same thing on how it should work. And it was about rules.
Okay.
Like, you definitely have to set, and this was these other guys that have kids, you have to set boundaries and rules, or the kid will just walk all over you, and you're going to lose the room type of thing. But you also can't give a person shit all the time, or they just tune you out.
Yeah.
But then the other guy said, well, not necessarily, because some people only react positively to getting shit. Right? So it's a different dynamic where some kids will shut down, whereas other kids won't respond unless you're giving them shit.
Well, that's why siblings are always saying, "Oh, you treat them differently." Well, yeah, you have to.
Yeah. And that's and the guy the guy in this conversation that raised his kids and then now his grandkids, he's like, every kid you have to treat differently. Because every kid responds differently.
And from the kid's perspective, it seems unfair. But from a parent's perspective, it's like, what the hell else do you do? Like, the same rules don't apply.
No.
It's like completely different personalities, completely different psychology in different kids. You know, what works with one doesn't work with another.
Right. Like and even your peer group. So say you and your husband have 3 kids, and you decide, okay, we're going to raise our kids this way. They're going to be religious. You know, we're going to go to church, and we're going to have these values and this, and this. And you decide that's how you want to raise your kids. But the other 90% of the people in your kids' peer group, like say in your class, aren't raising their kids that way. It's going to be really difficult for you to raise your kids the way you want to raise them if nobody else in your community is raising your kids that same way. That's like back in the day. Like, I think like homeschooling's become more socially acceptable, I think, to some instance. But I remember when we were young, homeschooling was like, whoa, that kid must be a loser if he's getting homeschooled, right? Right? Like, but maybe it's just I want to raise. But you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Is you can't.
I care not to comment on that right now.
You kind of have to raise your kids. You have to be conscious of that, where the way you're raising your kids might not be the way everybody else in society is raising their kids.
Yeah, but it's whether you care or not. Right.
And maybe you do, but maybe you don't. Maybe you're staunch, and but is it the right way?
It's who's to say?
Right. Exactly.
That's where Child Protective Services comes in.
Like, well, and like you think of a kid rebelling against their parents, right?
I know. I was thinking about this the other day, actually, because like, it's like every generation, you feel like when your kid does something wrong, it's like, oh, what did I do wrong? You know, or just like, what, you're always trying to do the best you can do as a parent, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't, and then who's to blame? Is the parent to blame, or is the kid just fucking crazy? Because I look back at, like, my Uncle Blair will tell you, like, he would say this all through our growing up, that he was a nightmare, and he, like, my grandparents were saints for putting up with him, and he didn't understand why he was acting that way, and like all the shit that he did. And I think it was a lot more common even back in the day for teenagers to be wild and crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like every generation feels that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you as a parent probably, and this is maybe more of a question, but if you say you're disciplining your kid on something, no, you can't do that. The kid's like, well, I want to do that. No, it's against the rules. And then they're like, fuck you. So is that the kid just rebelling against the parents because or is the kid being influenced by their peer group to think that's, because I think that.
What's your question?
Is a kid, especially in their high school years and their development as a person, are they more influenced by how they're being raised by their parents or the group that they hang out with socially?
Both. Equally.
Yeah.
Probably. Like, I don't know, when raising my kids, I never felt like I had to be like that because I just raised rule followers.
Right. So you got lucky. You got lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because they watched me and they're like, oh, I'm not going to do what she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I never really felt like I had to lay down the law ever. And my kids never stepped over any lines so far that I know of. So I never had to deal with that. And I count myself very lucky. And I am aware of that. Because I don't know what I would do if I did. Because I think I'm a pushover parent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just feel like, and maybe it's because my kids, I feel like, don't really give me much grief. So I don't really give them much grief back. It's like, oh, you don't feel like doing that? Oh, all right. I know you'll do it tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Big deal. But that's just me. And that drives some people crazy. But it's my house, so I don't care. Yeah.
Well, and
you know what I mean?
And your kids were there, like, you set the rules and they followed it.
Yeah.
I think of like one instance where, so say you have a group of 4 friends and they do everything together. They're buds. And I'm going to say guys because I'm a guy, so I have this experience. The one kid has to be home by 9:00. So say you're 14 years old. Mm-hmm. One kid's got to be home by 9:00. No ifs, ands, or buts. Mm-hmm. The other 3 don't have to be home till 12. Mm-hmm. But your rule is you got to be home by 9:00. I don't give a shit what the other parents are saying. Mm-hmm. But now that kid starts to, over time, does he resent you?
No, he just sneaks out.
Right. And then you give because I
don't know. It could go a variety of ways.
Yeah, like that's back to the, parenting is all different and people, but some people parent and a lot of people parent differently. Everybody does. Mm-hmm. Man, it's such a, there's books about parenting. Oh yeah. But who follows those books?
Well, some people do.
Right. And if you follow them, do you raise good kids or do you raise shitty humans? I don't know.
I don't know. I always kind of, the older I get, the better parent I want to be. I'm more aware of my role as a parent the older I get, I feel like. Like when I was younger, it's like, oh, okay, I have these little kids to take care of and keep alive and make sure they have food and clothes and a clean diaper and they're entertained. But the older they get, the more you realize, okay, I'm actually in charge of their social development and I have to worry about their happiness and how is their IQ and what's their prognosis in life and are they going to be contributing to society and are they getting along with their peers and are they getting enough sunlight or exercise or are you getting enough protein? Like, are you going to do your online class that you said you were going to do? Are you spending all your money on Xbox? Are you saving for fucking retirement? I don't know. It's like you feel like there's all these huger problems and huger responsibilities on you as a parent that it starts like making me sit up and take it a little more seriously. Be like, okay, maybe it's not just about baking cookies. Like, I have to make sure that my kid knows how to pay his credit card off every month, like seriously.
Yeah. No,
it's bigger issues all the time. So I find myself spending a lot more time worrying about my own shit and trying to be a good role model for who's watching.
So that's interesting. That what you just said there, being a role model and setting a good example, because you could tell a kid he needs to do that. You need to do this. Mm-hmm. You need to go to bed at 10. You need to turn the Xbox off. You need to do your homework. You need to pay your credit card bill off. But if you're not doing that,
I know.
and you're not setting, how do you expect a kid to do that?
And I've always been very aware of that. I've never expected my kids to do something I don't want to do. That's why I'm easy on them sometimes. I'm like, well, fuck, you don't feel like unloading the dishwasher?
Neither do I.
Either. You know?
I like that.
So I'm lenient when it comes to that, but also I expect the certain things out of them that I know, like it's a non-negotiable. You got to open your fucking curtains and go outside every day. You need sunlight, you know, you need to brush your teeth. You need to clean your own bathroom. You need to put gas in your own car. Like I just took Jet the other day and this was actually his own doing. He wanted to open savings account. He wanted to get a credit card to start building his credit, and he wanted to open a TFSA.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's where I was like, you know what? I'm doing okay.
Or does he have a good buddy that is doing this too, that he learned that from?
No, I don't think so, because I encouraged him to do it. You know,
great.
He had questions.
Yeah.
They learned about stuff like that in financial literacy class.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had a couple questions for me, and I was like, yeah, you know what? And then I'm like, maybe I better have a look at my investments. So I had another meeting and make sure everything's on par. But it's something I would not have thought of 10 years ago, or I didn't even think of with
8.
Mercedes, because I had so many things else on my mind. Mm-hmm. But now that I'm starting to grow up, I can show my kids how to grow up, which is a little embarrassing for me that it's happening this late. But this is what I say to them all the time. I had to wait till I was in my 30s to figure out how to manage my money, or to figure out like how to do all this shit. You know, I don't want you to have to wait that long.
Right.
There's things I don't know now that I'm asking my dad about that I should have been asking him 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm trying to do. That's my contribution as a parent. To grow up.
I think that's the right approach. Lead by example and be a good role model. Because parents, whether they say whether the kid says they like their parents or don't like their parents, you're still the primary role model in their life.
Yeah.
Whether it's a good one or a bad one,
mm-hmm.
You're the prime, and that's
you're the example they see all the time.
100%.
Yes. And which is very daunting and a big weight sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I don't want to care about anybody else's shit today, you know? Sometimes I don't want to make sure somebody else is doing okay, or they're got gas in their car, or they have something for breakfast, you know? But you do it because you're a parent. But I think it makes you do better for yourself.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah, there's satisfaction in being a good parent.
Mm-hmm.
And leading a good example.
Yeah. And, you know, I feel like my parents were good examples.
Mm-hmm. And they weren't perfect all the time, probably.
Of course not.
Right.
Nobody ever is, and that's the thing. It's like I am also the type of parent that I'm not really out to lie about who I am either. Like my kids know.
They'll see right through that.
Yeah. They know who I am. They know what I do. For the most part. And I think they appreciate that. They know what they're getting.
That's right. You're an open book. Awesome.
Maybe I'm embarrassing. I don't know.
Hey, but they still love you.
I hope so.
Yeah. Cool. That's awesome. What else? How long have we been going here? An hour and a bit. Shut her down? Mm-hmm. All right.
Tune in next week for more parenting advice.
More parenting, whether good or bad.
Yes.
Okay.